Hello, and welcome to the intro video for the third week projects. Like the last video, I'll be introducing the first half of each project and providing hints on how to complete the rest. Just a heads up, project 4 can be quite challenging towards the end, so I'll provide additional screenshots to help you. And you can find that in the Canvas page. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with project 4. I'll go ahead and start at step 2, which is asking us to click on the billable hours sheet tab and select cell A4. So it's already selected for me, so I don't need to do that, but I do need to click on A4. That's A5, and that's A4. Click on the Format as Table button, which is in the Home tab Styles group, using the light gray table style medium 11. So that is a mouthful, but the keyword to look for here is the medium. So let's go to editing, I believe, or actually, yeah, format as table. And then it's in the medium section, and it's in column 4, I believe, and row 2, light gray table style. Yep. So let me go and just zoom in really quick. So it's this one, light gray table style medium 11. Okay. So that's the one you want. And go ahead and stick with defaults for the pop-up and click OK. All right, and you can click out to kind of see um, the style change. And let's see. All right, let's go ahead and check off step 3. Step 4 is asking us to select cell C6 and type the formula equal C5 plus 1. Since I have this up, I can just copy that. So where's C6? Right here. And I'm going to click on the formula bar, and then I can right click and paste. And then you can see that C5 is highlighted, and we're just adding 1 to the cell, which increases the date. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. Autofill the formula to copy it to row 51. So if you don't remember, you hover over the fill handle until the pointer changes to a black cross, double click, and it autofilled it. Okay. Now we want to type 0.5 add-on in cell E4 and then press enter. So I'm just going to copy that. Control C, and then E4, Control V. And this is a neat feature. Excel went ahead and applied the styling to the new cell, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna hover over between E and F so I can double click to auto adjust the width for column E. So now it wants us to build a formula. So I can't really copy it because they don't have it laid out like how step 4 did. So I just have to, in cell D5, I just need to type in the formula, which is equal, or sorry, E5, yeah. And then it's going to be D5 plus 0.5. Okay. And the other neat thing that Excel did is it went ahead and auto copy the values to the rest of the cell. Okay. And then um, you want to go ahead and apply border, all border. So select the cells again, go to font, select all borders. Okay. Oh, just to give you a heads up, I'm just going to work up to step 10, and then I'll give you hints for the rest of the way. And then I'll provide a better screenshot than what is provided here. Yeah, there's a lot more than it to this project and then what this completed screenshot is showing. All right. So step 8 is asking us to copy dates as values. So what's going on is you notice right now, if you click on the cells, even though you see the date, it's actually a formula that is underneath those dates. And so what happened is if you're trying to like do things like shorting, it kind of breaks the output value. And that's what um, B is trying to show you. So, since you're watching me, you don't need to do it for your own project. So just watch how I'm doing it here, and you can skip it when you're doing it. So short the column date from newest to oldest. So here, I'm going to select newest to oldest, and you notice it's all like, it's basically an error value. It's because we're shorting formulas and not calendar dates. And so what we want to do now is kind of convert those formulas to calendar dates. So I'm going to undo what I did just to revert back. And then I'm going to select C5 again. So you can skip B and C. When you're doing this project, you can skip directly. Once you do A, you can actually jump to D. So I want to select cell C5 all the way down to C51. And then I'm going to copy. So right click, copy. Okay. Or you can press Control C. And that's the other way to do it as well. Step F, part F is asking us to select C5 again. So you can see that it's selected because there's a green border there. It's kind of hard to see because you have this moving selection around it. So now we want to paste value. So the way to do that is to go to the clipboard up here. And then if you go click on paste again, you see this. Let me go ahead and zoom in. You can see this paste value here. So I'm going to do that. At first it's like, doesn't look like anything changed. If I go back here, and it looks the same still. So I'm going to hit escape so the moving borders goes away. But when I click on the cells, you notice it's actually a date now in the formula bar. Okay, so that's the biggest change. It's kind of like behind the scenes. Okay, so for step 9, it's asking us to sort the table by date in the newest to oldest order, then sort by product service in ascending order. So the way to do this is you want to go ahead and select, I think, A5, and then go to the Data tab, and then click on Sort. And then you notice Excel went ahead and select the entire data set for you. So we want to sort by date from newest to oldest. Okay. Then we add the next level, then sort by product services in ascending order, and then click OK. And then you can see that is arranged by date, then by product and service. All right. For step 10, it's asking us to use the Power Query to transform the data. So part A is asking us to select the contracts sheet. Okay. And so select cell A4. So we're going to import from text CSV. So let's see. For me, it's kind of hidden. So let me click here. So it's this icon on the far left next to get data, and then it says from text CSV. So click on that. Then you want to look for, so that text CSV is the resource file. So you just have to locate where you downloaded that. So it's called Eller text, that's 04.txt, and hit import. Okay. So that's part B. Now we want to move on to part C, which is asking us to click transform data. And that brings up the Power Query editor. So it kind of allows us to clean the data before we import it. So we want to click the address label, press Control, and then click the phone number label, and then click the remove columns button. Okay, so here's address, and then hold the control key and then click phone number and then click the remove columns. So it took it out. But we also want to remove 3 more columns: zip, ID, and first contact. So for me, I'm going to have to use my horizontal bar, so you guys might need to do that too, to kind of scroll to the right horizontally. So I can see zip, ID, and then first contact. Yep. So I'm going to click on zip, and then I'm going to hold the control key. So I select ID and then select first contact. We also want to remove these columns as well. So D and E is done, and F. So part G is asking us to kind of look at the bottom of the text file, and then notice they're empty and there's no values here. We don't want that in our Excel spreadsheet. So G is just asking us to observe. H is, let's see here. Now it wants us to actually remove them. So to do that, we click on remove. Instead of just clicking remove rows, we want to click the down arrow, and then we want to select, let me go ahead and zoom in really quick. We want to select remove from bottom rows. Okay. It's nice that they tell us how many rows. We don't have to count it. So it's 16 that we want to remove. And you notice all those empty rows are gone. Okay, so H and I is completed. Now we want to just go ahead and click the down arrow. I wish they include the word down arrow there in the close and load, so that we can select close and load to. So let me go ahead and zoom in really quick on that. So we want to click the down arrow so that we can select close and load to. Let me zoom out. And now we want to make sure we want to load it to the existing worksheet that we have here, and it's to the cell A4. Okay, click OK, and there it is. All right, so this concludes the introduction part for project 4. Let me give you guys some hints for how to do the rest of it. For step 14, it's asking you to select cell A1 and F2 and center them across the selection. So this is something you did in prior projects. So I guess I'll show you really quickly what that looks like. Remember, you select the cells, right click, format cells, go to alignment, and within that, let me zoom in, in the horizontal section, you can select that center across selection. So this is something you guys done before, so hopefully that is still fresh in your memory. So that's for step 14. Step 15, you want to right click to copy the billable hour sheet and then move it to the end. Okay. And then when you're creating a pivot table, that can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to include, I think, some screenshots for you in the introduction page. So let's see here. Moving down, so there's quite a bit of this stuff. From step 16 to step 19 is all kind of focus on the pivot table. And it might be something you guys haven't done before, but it's something I've taught my IS-15 students to do. So yeah, so I'll kind of include screenshots for this to kind of supplement the directions for number 19. Okay, so I think that this will conclude my part for the introduction part for project 4 and with the hints. Let me go ahead and open up project 5. Project 5 is actually easier to do. So once again, I'll start at step 2 for project 5. And for this one, I'll work up to step 5. So this is a pretty short and sweet project. Okay. All right, so what is step 2 asking us to do is to group the worksheets. So the first week sheet, click on it, and then hold the shift key this time. Before you guys been holding control, but when you hold shift, it just selects more content quickly. So I'm going to hover over the third week tab, hold shift, and then left click. So you notice the background kind of became whiter or lighter. Okay, so that lets you know that multiple worksheets have been selected. So what is going on here when you group the sheets is that as you're modifying and filling out one sheet, it also does it to the other two sheets. So I guess I can kind of click around to show you what that looks like first. So let me kind of break the grouping. So you notice that they're all are formatted similarly, so that like, all the cells here are in the same spot as the other cells. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like when we finish step 3. So once again, you want to go ahead and make sure they're all grouped before you moved on to step 3. So he wants us to select cells B5. So where is that? B5. And then it wants us to fill the weekday names to Friday. So for this one, you don't want to double click because it will just fill down the column. You want to click on the fill handle and then drag it to the right. And there you go. And then part B is asking us to auto fit the column. So I'm going to select column A to F, go to cells, format, auto fit column width. So I'll zoom in to kind of show you what that looks like. Okay, so that's done. Part C is asking us to select cells G6 and G12 and then click the auto sum button. So G6 to G12, auto sum should be in editing, right? And then click on auto sum. Okay, so it created a total in column G. And now this is like the overall total down here as well. So we're going to do it for step D. So we're going to select B13 to G13 and then go back to editing, auto sum, and it created totals down here. Now we want to, it's asking us to select cell A4, okay? And then right click on the second week sheet tab and then select, let me go ahead and zoom in really quick. Select the ungroup sheets. So you notice the sheets, the other sheets kind of darken in their color. So you notice for the second sheet, you would the days were empty here, and then the totals were empty, but it's all filled out now. Similarly to for sheet 3. So that's the neat thing about grouping. It just minimize how often you have to fill out data. It does require you to have the cells in each of those sheets kind of aligned in the same location as the first sheet. All right, moving on to step 4. It's asking us to copy and position a picture. So once again, it's in the second sheet. So click on the icon. You can right click and select copy, or just hit Control C on your keyboard like part B is asking you to do. Go to, so I finished A and B. On step C is part C is asking us to click on the first week sheet tab, and then click on Control V to paste the picture. So Control V, so that's paste. And then we just have to move it so it's next to the word Hamilton Civic Center. Okay, and then kind of adjust it. Did it say that you can, for part E, it's optional. You don't need to use directional arrow key. All right, go ahead and click on A4. Okay, so that finishes step 4. Yeah, I think this is a halfway point for me. Um, there's really not too many hints that you need to do, um, other than maybe step G. So this is really more focused on formatting more than anything else. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Step G, numbers 7. Yeah, so 7G. So it's a little tricky what color they're asking you to pick. So let me kind of click on this one and kind of do it, even though this is not the right sheet. Um, So let's see here. What do we need to do? Okay. Home tab, font group. Okay. And then we want to, I think, open the dialog box here and then go to the fill tab. Right now it's on green. Um, and then we want to click on fill effects. So here's where they want you to change the color to that gray. And where that gray is a little bit confusing because it says first column, right? Um, so it's first column here, but like which first column? It's actually, I believe, this one, the fourth one. White, background one, darker 35%. Yep. So that's the specific grade they want you for step 7, part G. Okay, so I think that's the only hint you really need for project 5. Um, Once again, I'm going to have the completion video available to you on Friday. So just be patient. Don't give yourself some grace and um, don't be too hard on yourself when you don't get the high score you want or the 100%, right? Because it's like, oh, I have to do this project again. But yeah, like I mentioned, project 4 can be a little difficult. So if just be patient and wait until Friday if you really need to kind of see how you would complete project 4 successfully. So, okay, thank you for watching and good luck with this week's assignment.